If we consider the human body in its most basic form, we can classify it into two aspects: the body and the mind. There is a direct connection between the body and the mind. In ancient wisdom, it was said, a healthy mind is within a healthy body. Therefore, whenever you calm the body, your mind gains an additional sense of peace. For instance, when you travel, you often experience this kind of physical relaxation. Or think of it as someone gaining this physical peace artificially. How? Through exercise. Exercising in the morning leaves you feeling refreshed and energized. What happens then? The human nervous system branches out from the spine, with its origin in the spinal cord, and gradually spreads out. Ideally, you position yourself in the best possible posture. Sit straight, as recommended in Islam, keeping a space between your arms and body to allow proper blood circulation in these areas, which doesn't happen if your arms are pressed close to your body. Position your hands in specific ways, such as on your knees, similar to how we sit in the tashahhud position in prayer. Or place your hands on your knees, as it is called cross-legged meditation postures. Then repeat a word. Since the stimulation of fingertips has a quick and direct calming effect on the mind, you can hold your hand in a specific way or use a prayer bead chain, like those in Chinese or Buddhist practices. Repeat a single word or mantra many times. The stimulation from the fingertips and the repetition of the mantra brings profound physical peace. Now, I'm not saying that simply holding prayer beads and saying Subhanallah, which means glory be to Allah, is the same as a mantra. A mantra has a unique single-purpose quality. In Buddhism and Hinduism, sounds were classified as yin and yang. The pronunciation of specific sounds is calming. By articulating certain sounds, you experience tranquility. I'm not the one saying this. Buddhism says so. In contemporary spiritual movements, isn't it the main one? Western spirituality has adopted Buddhist ideas, dividing sounds into yin and yang, soft sounds and intense sounds. Some sounds are light and delicate, others are deep and resonant. In the Arabic language, you see the peak of this phenomenon. There are isti'ala letters which are elevated, and istifal letters that are lowered, letters that are higher, letters that are lower. Look at the phrase, Qul huwallahu ahad. That means, say, He is Allah, the One. It's filled with elevated sounds. Let me show you something remarkable. Look closely at Qul huwallahu ahad. Let's examine the sounds together. A, I, U, A, A, O. These are vowels, correct? As is high, As is low, Ak is high. Now look at Qul huwallahu ahad. This Qul is high, Hu is high, Wa is high, and Allahu ahad, right? In Allahu samad. That means Allah is the eternal refuge. There's one ayn sound, right? Listen further. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. There are no more low sounds. Do you know where the masterpiece lies? Right at the middle of this text. 17 letters to one side, 17 letters to the other side. By reciting Qul huwallahu ahad, you are calming yourself. Then you absorb its rhythm, like in the verse, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُرِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا, which means by the charging horses, by those that strike sparks of fire, by those that charge at dawn. It has a melody. Then it ends so beautifully with إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ, which means indeed mankind is ungrateful to his Lord. The repetition of asterisk that is one of the long vowels, maintains a perfect balance. Why does whisper mean exactly that in Arabic? Waswas, whispering, implies a hidden message coming from somewhere behind. Notice how in different languages, the word which means the way of communication often has S. In Persian, words like seda, which means sound, and sobat, which means conversation, and sohan, which means speech, or the words ses in Turkish and sonido in Spanish, which mean sound. In almost every case, the letter S is used without exception. This is why Allah says language is one of His signs. Go look into it and you'll see. It's not random. Every word has a foundation. Now let's recite the surah about whispering. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. This surah means, say, I seek refuge with the Lord and cherisher of mankind, the King of mankind, the Judge of mankind, from the mischief of the evil whisperer, who withdraws after his whisper, who whispers into the hearts of mankind. Among jinns and among men today, Buddhism promotes the concept of yin and yang. A person comes and says, what is your problem? They respond, I have nervous issues. Then they make certain sounds. I've seen their films. They chant mantras and practice meditation. Around 1,400 years ago, among the Arabs of the age of ignorance, something entirely different emerged. This wasn't born out of civilizations like Persia, Egypt, or Rome. It came from such a place without civilization. It came from somewhere that a historian like Will Durant put it, what miracle do you expect from Muhammad? Should he walk on water for you? Should he turn a staff into a serpent? Is there a greater miracle than this, that he compelled the ignorant Arabs to wash themselves 5 times a day?